Hey guys, Dan here from DansTube.TV, and today I'm doing a comparison video for you guys. I have the Polaroid Cube versus the GoPro Hero4 Session, the newly released GoPro. Now I will have links in the description below to check these out on Amazon. The Polaroid Cube is $100 and the GoPro Session is $400. So there is quite a difference in terms of price, but when it comes down to the form factor, they both have that cube-like form to them, and when you compare them side by side, they don't actually vary too much in terms of their size. They do have a very similar size, weight, and form factor behind them, which is really interesting. The Polaroid Cube was one of those items that I found out about ages ago, and I picked one up and I was super excited about it. The concept was fantastic, and everything seemed to be perfect until I actually received the product, and then I realized that everything wasn't perfect for $100. Now I have had a few issues with files corrupting. Recently though, I haven't had any issues at all. I've been filming for the last maybe 20 minutes and I haven't had any files corrupt on me, so that's really handy and a positive. But unfortunately, like I said, it's not 100% reliable. I have had issues in the past on multiple occasions with different SD cards, and then also on top of that, they don't have the best software support. They released this product into the market, fantastic idea with some awesome colors. You have blue, black, and red, and they look really chill, but they haven't done anything in terms of software updates. They literally released it onto the market and then kind of disappeared, so that really annoyed me because this is such a cool little camera, and for $100 the camera quality isn't half bad. It has a really clean lens on it that can capture 124 degrees of awesomeness. You can record in full HD up to 1080p, and you can also take 6 megapixel still photos. They also guarantee that this is splash proof, weather resistant, and shock resistant, which is super handy straight out of the box. And the thing that really blew my mind was this intuitive magnet design. When you find the right type of metal that this magnet will stick onto, then you will have so much fun with this. You can mount it in the weirdest locations, and that's straight out of the box. You don't need any sort of mounts or cases or anything, and that is quite a positive. But then when it comes to mounting it anywhere else, you need to buy their specific mounts. Now they do have some interesting helmet mounts, bike mounts, strap mounts, wearable pendant, and this interesting monkey-shaped mount. Unfortunately, the design is so unique that you don't really have any other adapters to make it work for a GoPro or even for a tripod mount, so that is quite limiting in that regard. It also does house the one-button operation, which does work quite well to some extent, but at the same time it doesn't work 100%. You have no indicator to show you what's going on, and you don't have any app to actually integrate with and compare any of your footage or settings or even test it out at all. It's literally you're depending on the hardware, and you're basically just hoping that the software is programmed well enough for this little cube to work 100% without any hiccups. And unfortunately that hasn't been the case for me, which is really annoying because this has so much potential for $100. Another thing to mention is the LED light, which indicates when you're recording or taking pictures, is quite dim. So if you're recording in sunlight, then you're not 100% going to be able to tell that it's actually recording, which is another off-putting thing. That's something that GoPro have done well. The light is super vibrant and you can tell when it's recording. You have one on the front and an LED on the back. The Polaroid Cube guarantees 90 minutes of video recording. Now I'd say that's relatively accurate from my tests, and not 100% of course. It really is quite a cool little product for $100. Recently GoPro released the Hero4 Session, and this is the Cube done right. In my opinion, they could have come up with a better name than the Session. I would have loved to have seen the GoPro Hero4 Cube. That would have been fantastic, but maybe Polaroid had already copyrighted that name or had some sort of patent on it. So unfortunately GoPro had to go with the Session, which is quite a catchy name after a little while. But when it comes down to the specs of this GoPro, it does a fantastic job straight out of the box, and this is how the Polaroid Cube should be. It has everything that you want. It has a fantastic app that's compatible with lots of different devices. It has a small little display on the actual camera itself so that you can tell what you're shooting, the settings that you have, and also the recording time. You also have those super bright LEDs so that you can tell when you're filming or taking a time lapse, for example. It is also 10 meters waterproof straight out of the the box. Not just splash proof, we tested this thoroughly and it does hold up. It's a super handy waterproof GoPro. I love the form factor, it's got that awesome cube design to it. You also have a variety of different video resolutions to shoot at. You have the 8 megapixel photos, and then on top of that you also have the burst mode, which can shoot at 10 frames per second, which is a blistering rate, it just snaps away. And then when it comes to the one button control, that is done right. It's 100% hardware and software in unison. It just works. GoPro are fantastic at that. The most crucial thing to me, which makes this GoPro worth the money, is the aftermarket care. GoPro constantly update their products, they iron out any bugs, they update all of their products, and they keep you up to date with everything to ensure that you don't have any issues, no file corruption. They also add new features in the future, which has been seen in the GoPro Hero 4 Black, so I'm sure they'll bring out some new features for this session, and they're just perfect. You can actually contact them, there's forums, there's their website, and there's all of these kind of support pages where you can work off to ensure that you're going to have the best experience with your GoPro. And for me, that definitely is what you need. You need that peace of mind when you're paying for a camera, especially for something, if you're going to be filming it in a professional sense, you want to ensure that you're not going to have corrupted files. It has a really wide viewing angle as well. You have different options for super view, narrow. You also have the Pro Tune mode, which is quite limited in this version, but at least you have it there so you can customize that slightly. You have all of the options in the app to view back your footage and play around with some other settings. The GoPro Hero 4 Session also comes with some ultimate mounting options straight out of the box, which is really handy when you buy a product. You want to be able to go out and film straight away. And like I said, this device is ready to go straight out of the box. You don't need to put any sort of housing on it to ensure that it's waterproof. It's just ready to go. You can mount it to all of your other GoPro mounting options and accessories, and it just works really well. It also has a fantastic auto low light setting, which seems to pick up the blacks really well when you're filming in the pitch black. It also does a fantastic job of picking up light colors when you have quite a lot of contrast between darks and lights. Another killer feature would be the dual mic system. It has a microphone on the front and a microphone on the back, so if you have wind interfering with the microphone on the front, then the software will tune that one out and focus in on the back microphone if you're talking, for example. So you have super crisp audio and the wind won't affect it. So that is a really cool system, and that is all built into this really small cubed GoPro, and that's straight out of the box. Everything's ready to go, you don't have to buy anything additionally, and it's quite a good price for what you're getting. So in my opinion, if you don't have too much money and you're looking to get a semi-professional or amateur camera, then look at the Polaroid Cube. It's not going to be 100% reliable for you. It also doesn't have any aftermarket care, so you want to hope that you're going to love the product straight away out of the box. And then on top of that, you may have corrupted files here and there, so hopefully you're not going to be filming anything professional, and if it's just for you testing out your framing or even just playing around with your first camera, if you have $100 available to you and it's not going to break the bank, then check out the Polaroid Cube. But in my opinion, spend that extra couple of $100 and get this super awesome Hero 4 Session. It's a killer GoPro and it's such a professional camera, has some killer features, such a cool unit, all in the one, and I absolutely love it. And you've obviously got all of those additional GoPro accessories and mounts on the market, so that means you have a library of accessories to add on to this killer device already, and to add that extra element of professionalism, or to add that extra element of kind of uniqueness, I guess, by mounting it to some interesting locations. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd love to know your opinions. The Polaroid Cube or the GoPro Hero 4 Session. In this video, and for my personal opinion, I'm going to give it to the Hero 4 Session. Spend that little bit of extra money and you will get the quality. This is a beautiful device, beautiful product, and it has software and hardware in unison. It works perfectly. We haven't had issues at all, and GoPro has such a renowned name now. It is overpriced, but they do offer a killer product. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Make sure to have a fantastic day, and peace out.